Hello, thank you for watching my video, and today we'll be covering graphing linear inequalities. So I already posted a video on this today, or yesterday, and so this is my attempt at making a video and just showing you how to do this. So as you can see here, we have to graph this linear inequality, and it'll very obviously tell you on a worksheet to graph the linear inequality. And so you see we have the linear inequality here, and the first thing that we really need to do to graph it is we need several points. Now in class I've made you do 5 points, but when graphing a linear inequality you can actually get away with probably just 2, at least until we get into something more advanced. And so as you can see here, we have this linear inequality, and so for you to find points, first you must convert this over into the form that we're used to seeing. Now remember, this is not the actual form. This equation that we've created, we just took away the inequality for now, and we can go ahead and add some things to it. So let's see, my favorite points are always -2, 1, 0, 1, and 2, and so I'm going to plug some of them in. Now for the first one, the 0 is the easiest, because if I did 0, this would just go away and I'd only have 6. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And 0, 6 is also the y-intercept. Okay, so anytime you ever see a 0 in the x column, the other place is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept equals 6, which is right here. Now we got to add some more points, and I can plug these in, so I can do equals 4 times, and I'm just going to do the positive ones right now. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 6 is equal to 10. 4 times 2, so we can do 4 times 2, plus 6. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 6, and that equals 14. So that's a whole new equation. 14 here, and then if I wanted to do a little bit more complicated work, I could go ahead and use the calculator. And so go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Alright, so I have the calculator. Let's see, go down here, I can punch this in so I can quit. So I need 4 times x, so we can do 4 times whatever x we're using, which is going to be -1, and then plus 6. Okay, so we have that. It's going to be 2, and we can go ahead and do it for the other one. Oh, yeah, -2. Okay, do it for the other one. So we'll do 4 times -2 plus 6. Alright, and so for -1 we get 2, and for -2 we get -2, so we get so first we get 2 and then -2. Alright, so now we need to graph this problem, and so we can just go over here and make a little graph, and generally I'll give you graph paper to do this. I won't require you to draw your own. Alright, and so we got these little lines here. Just get your y-axis and your x-axis. Okay. Alright, so we need some points. So let's see, we'll pick 2, and I can go ahead and pick, I'll just go ahead and pick this one and this one. And the reason I like to pick these is because they're not right next to each other, so it makes the line more true. And so if you have -1, 2, so I'm going to go over left 1 and up 2, so 1, 2, about right there. Okay, and then I have 1, 10. 1, 10 is going to be kind of hard to graph, but let's see if I can do it. 1, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're up here somewhere. I'm going to do this down. Okay. Alright, now there's the linear inequality, and as you can see here, we may need to go back and explain what the inequality kind of means. And so if you'll remember back when you were kids, and probably the lower levels, let's do this. You had a little number line, and you said 1, 2, and then you have 1, 2. Okay, and they said x is greater than 1, and so you knew that that was every number past this number and there. So you know that that was x is greater than 1. What about when you had x is also, say s is less than or equal to 2? So now we have this. We would now color it in. Okay. Well, in this situation, we have a greater than and equal to, so that means that it can be every point and include that point. And so in this situation, we would just leave this line here, the line that we graphed, a solid line. So if you'll remember, I'll draw a little chart for you. So we have less than, so we have greater than or less than, and that's going to be kind of a dotted line, or open from the lower levels of math. And if you have a greater than, okay, then that's going to be a solid line, or colored in. And so it's kind of our little chart. Okay, and so as you can see here, we have a greater than, so that's going to be a dark line, and we have a dark line already. And so I'm going to go ahead and, now the last thing I need to do, because this is an inequality, I need to graph the side that is supposed to be shaded, because when we were kids and we were younger, we did the math like this. We would kind of shade one side with a line. We would darken the line. And so as you can see here, I darken this line and I darken this line, and we need to darken one of the sides of this. Okay, this is sort of a two-dimensional version of what we did when we were kids. And so from that, we need to find a point that satisfies this greater than or equals to. So let's find a point. Well, we need a point obviously on one side or the other, and I like to go with 0, 0. It makes the math easier, and this point 0, 0, which is right here, is very obviously on the right side of this line. So this point is very obviously on the right side. So let's use the point 0, 0 and see if this inequality equation is true. So we have the point 0, 0, which I got from there. Okay, and I'll go ahead and change colors to make it easier for people to follow. So we have 0, 0, okay, and that's this point right here, 0, 0, which is the origin, and we're going to plug it in to see if it works. So we have y is greater than or equal to 4 times x plus 6. So we have 0 is greater than or equal to 4 times 0 plus 6. 4 times 0 is just 0. So we have 0 is greater than or equal to 6. Now, is 0 greater than or equal to 6? Well, no, it isn't. 0 is less than. So this is not true. That means that we wouldn't shade this side. So we would shade this side. Now, what if you'd picked a point on this side? So we can very obviously pick a point on this side. Let's say we did -5. So we'll see 3, 4, 5. So -5, 1, 2. So let's say -5, 2. Let's say we pick this spot right here. So -5, 2. Let me go ahead and plug it in. So we have -5, 2. So we have 2 is greater than or equal to 4 times 5 plus 6. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 6 is 26. So is 2, I'm sorry, -5. So that should have been -20, and then let's rewind a little bit. Mr. Chappie makes mistakes too. So negative there. Okay, so that equals -20 plus 6, and we have equals 2. And the -20 plus 6 actually equals -14. Okay, so is 2 greater than or equal to -14? Yes, it is. And so this shading on this side, it actually counts. So yes, all the points on this side, any point we could choose, if we plugged into this equation, would be true on this side. And if I plugged in another point like I did here at 0, 0, 0, it would be not true. So this is true. Okay, so that is the difference, and that's how you graph a linear inequality. Thank you for watching.